They used to say, "Whoever controls the oil controls the world." But that phrase belongs to another century, an era when nations fought wars for barrels and pipelines, when steel and smoke determined power. Today, the battlefield has shifted. The wells are invisible. The new crude doesn't stain your hands, it stains your thoughts. Because now, whoever controls the data controls you. Oil built the modern age. It fueled engines, powered factories, and funded empires. It turned deserts into kingdoms and kingdoms into corporations. But oil was physical. It ran out. It could be traced, taxed, embargoed. Data, however, is different. Data doesn't deplete. It multiplies. Every tap, every swipe, every whispered yes to a permissions box becomes part of an infinite refinery, one that extracts not from the earth, but from the human mind itself. Your phone is the new oil field. Your emotions are the new energy source. And your attention, that fleeting, priceless spark, is the most valuable resource of all. Every moment you spend online is a form of labor, unpaid and unnoticed. You're training the algorithms, feeding the prediction models, polishing the mirror that reflects your digital self back to you. The irony? You think you're using the app. But the app is using you. When oil was discovered, the first tycoons built refineries and shipping empires. They needed land, machinery, and armies. The new tycoons need none of that. They build pipelines through your desires. Their rigs are servers. Their wells are emotions. Their refineries are algorithms. This is the new oil rush, and you are the field being drilled. It begins innocently. A download. A tap. A simple allow. A new app that promises convenience, connection, or creativity. But beneath every cheerful interface lies a contract, not written in ink, but in code. You agree to share data, a word so abstract, so harmless sounding, that it barely registers. Yet that one click opens the floodgates. Your location, your conversations, your habits, your heartbeat, your sleep, your spending, your secrets, all become raw material. Raw data is worthless, on its own. But refined data? That's behavioral gold. Algorithms sift through it, categorize it, compare it, predict it. They build a digital twin of you, a version that never sleeps, never hides, and never forgets. That twin knows when you're restless at night, when you hesitate before clicking buy, when your pulse quickens at a face, a phrase, a fear. It knows what you'll crave before you do. And someone, somewhere, is profiting from that prediction. Once upon a time, oil fueled cars and wars. Now, data fuels decisions. It powers the markets you can't see, the silent, algorithmic economies that run beneath everything from social media feeds to stock trades to political movements. Governments once built pipelines across continents. Today, corporations build pipelines through consciousness. They don't mine land, they mine belief. Surveillance used to mean cameras on poles. Now it means software in your pocket. Governments, advertisers, insurers, and employers all sip from the same digital reservoir, each drawing insights that blur the line between service and surveillance. They justify it as personalization, efficiency, safety. But the more they know, the less freedom remains unpriced. That's the hidden cost of convenience. The moment you click accept all, you turn into a vein of digital oil, one that never stops producing. Every heartbeat read by a smartwatch, every message analyzed for tone, every GPS ping that maps your routine, it's all refined into predictive insight. Your private life becomes a public commodity traded at the speed of light. The product isn't your phone or your data. The product is you, restructured into patterns, sold to the highest bidder. But here's the cruel elegance of it: you volunteered. You tapped agree. You wanted faster loading, smoother feeds, more relevant ads. You wanted to feel seen. That's how the refinery works, not through coercion, but through consent. The data barons don't take your freedom, they let you hand it over in exchange for comfort. Oil magnates of the past conquered land. Data magnates conquer behavior. Every platform you open, every recommendation you follow, every dopamine hit you chase, it all feeds the refinery. The more predictable you become, the more valuable you are. Each post liked, each pause on a video, each argument online adds a drop to the reservoir. Bit by bit, your attention is converted into influence, not yours, but theirs. Because the new empires don't need borders or armies. They need engagement. In this world, attention is the ultimate currency. The longer you linger, the richer they grow. Social media isn't a marketplace, it's a laboratory. Every reaction you give, anger, joy, envy, becomes data that feeds the loop. The system studies what divides, what distracts, what delights. Then it sells that knowledge to advertisers, to politicians, to AI models learning to replicate human persuasion. The result is an economy that doesn't just predict behavior. It shapes it. It doesn't remove your choices, it reroutes them. You think you're scrolling freely, but every option was designed, tested, and optimized to keep you inside the loop. Every notification is a lure. Every update a recalibration. You are not choosing, you are being chosen. In 2024, the world generated more than 180 zettabytes of data. Enough to fill every hard drive on Earth billions of times over. But that number hides a darker truth: the more data we produce, the less privacy remains. Each byte is a breadcrumb in the trail of human behavior, and someone, somewhere, is always following it. Advertising networks, analytics firms, AI developers, they've built an economy that runs faster than human awareness. Decisions are made in milliseconds, before emotion even forms. You think you're browsing, they're already predicting. You think you're voting, they've already profiled. You think you're free, they've already modeled your next move. That's the silent revolution of the data age: control without coercion, manipulation without malice. The system doesn't have to force you. It simply nudges you toward the path it profits from most. Oil polluted the atmosphere. Data pollutes the mind. Every targeted ad, every curated feed, every personalized For You page becomes a fog of persuasion. It blurs truth, fractures consensus, and isolates individuals inside digital realities built for engagement, not enlightenment. We live in echo chambers engineered for profit. The more we argue, the more data we generate. The more polarized we become, the more predictable we are. Rage is measurable. Fear is monetizable. Attention is addictive. And in this new world, addiction is efficiency. The oil barons built refineries that powered engines. The data barons built refineries that power algorithms. Their goal isn't to fuel cars, it's to fuel certainty. The certainty of how you'll react, how you'll spend, how you'll vote, how you'll think. This is the invisible infrastructure of the modern age, a network so vast, so intricate, it makes the oil pipelines of the past look primitive. And the deeper irony? We built it ourselves. We uploaded our lives willingly, the photos, the posts, the preferences. We gave away our diaries for dopamine. We didn't sell our souls, we shared them, one click at a time. Now, every platform we use is an invisible refinery. Every device we touch is a sensor. Every conversation online is raw material. The digital self, once an extension of identity, has become a resource harvested by others. Oil once made the rich richer and the poor dependent. Data does the same, but silently. It doesn't just create inequality. It programs it. Algorithms decide who sees opportunity and who doesn't, who gets approved and who's ignored, whose content rises and whose disappears. The oil age divided the world into producers and consumers. The data age divides it into the watched and the watchers. And the watchers are few. They sit behind glass walls in Silicon Valley, Shenzhen, Dubai, and Geneva, orchestrating a system that runs so smoothly, most of us don't realize we're inside it. Their wealth doesn't come from ownership of things, but from ownership of insight. They know what humanity wants, and more dangerously, how to shape what it will want next. That's the true shift. Power has moved from those who own the means of production to those who own the means of prediction. You can't see them, But they see you, through patterns, through probabilities, through the code that defines modern life. And as AI grows, so does the distance between the observer and the observed. The data you generate doesn't just enrich humans anymore. It trains machines. Each interaction makes the system smarter, faster, more persuasive. We are teaching our replacements, line by line, click by click, to understand us better than we understand ourselves. That's the final paradox of the data age. We are both creators and captives. Our behavior builds the intelligence that ultimately controls our behavior. And like oil, it's not sustainable. The extraction never stops. The demand never slows. The attention wells never dry. But there's one key difference: when oil ran out, the world adapted. When data runs out, when we finally have nothing left to give, it's unclear what remains of the human self. So the next time you download, scroll, or click accept, remember this: you're not just using technology. Technology is using you, refining you into prediction, trading you for influence, packaging your life as profit. The oil rush ended with nations fighting over land and resources. The data rush may end with algorithms fighting over you. The wells never close. The rigs never rest. The pipelines never stop pumping. And the price is your privacy. They used to say oil made the world run. Now, data makes the world think. And whoever owns the data, owns the future.